Shox is pushing forward as well with a lot of fiends here, but they are getting stunned by these shurikens. Is he going to make it up the hill? Most likely not. Yeah, as we do see big explosions from that atomic bomber go off, just to really combine arms destruction of Shox's army. Poor unfortunate Shox. Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to Beyond All Reason. So today we are on Crumb Valley, which is a custom map, so I don't blame you if you have not seen it before. So this is an 8v8 on Crumb Valley. Very, very fun, interesting game. Or 7v7, sorry, pardon me. So let's get right into it. So on the left side, we have Damus in the light green here playing Cortex. We have Master Bell 2 in the light blue playing Cortex. Andre B playing Cortex. And Ragna, oh my gosh, playing Armada in the blue, right next to each other, taking the center. We have Flash in purple playing Armada. Stardom in the green playing Cortex. And I just lied, he's playing Armada. And we have Dolphy back here in the green playing Armada. Alright, on the right side, we have Taku, which I did learn how to say, in the yellow playing Cortex. We have Shox in the pink playing Cortex. Jazz Cash in the salmon with Armada. Sabotai in the orange with Cortex. Mighty Sheep in the white with Armada. CJ Reborn in the red with Cortex. And Flo in the pink with Cortex. So, wow, this is just a stacked game with a lot of very recognizable names that I think I've all casted before. But yeah, if you do enjoy seeing stuff like this, make sure to like and subscribe to see more content like this. But yeah, very stacked teams. No one is even close to being in the noob range at all. These are all very good players. Interesting pathing here with these grunts from Sabotai. I was sent this replay by Sabotai, so if you have any games that you'd like me to cast, then send them my way through the email or through the Discord. But yeah, without further ado, I guess we can get into it. So I'm assuming these back players are going to be on air. Although we have Flo with the bot lab, and Dolphy also with the bot lab. So I guess I was wrong. But I would have thought that they were going air. The wind speed for this map, a low of 5, a high of 10. So wind speed, not great. I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of solar collectors. And that is indeed what we see. We do see some wind turbines here from Ragna. And wind turbines aren't bad. Like it could be worse, but they're also not great. So solar collectors, definitely a play that I understand being made. But we have a lot of grunts here from Sabotai that he was able to spam out. On their way to Ragna's base, well, Ragna's commander, they probably won't make it to the base. We do have some base defense here by Andre for Ragna. And yeah, mech's almost going down there, not quite. There are only about like 3 grunts left on the field. There we go. Well, in that front range anyway. So initial attack didn't go great for the right side team. They didn't accomplish that much. They just ended up losing a lot of units that will probably be reclaimed in the end. But we do now have the western team on the offensive. Although how long that will last, no one's able to tell. We do have a grunt here from CJ Reborn doing a little bit of skirmishing there on Stardom. But if I was to say, I would say the left side team is probably a little bit better. I've definitely casted a lot more games from the people on the left side, I feel like. But, you know, obviously the team in the East is also incredibly good. So it's going to be an interesting game. I really love the new lighting effects that were put on the units. So it's cool to see in this game. We do have these grunts from Master Bell being caught out by Jazz Cash's commander as he takes the center. Not much going on here between Taku and Damus. Although we are seeing some grunts moving forward from Damus. We also have some more grunts from Sabotai trying to push back some of their revived brothers. I must, you know, a little weird to see, I'm assuming, for them. But they're also robots, so I doubt they care, actually. But interesting, there is no air yet. There's actually no lab at all from Dolphy. Flo is also not rocking with the lab. So kind of to be expected once you get your eco units up. You know, the back players are going for that eco while everyone else is holding the line. So we'll definitely see them become more active in the late game, but right now I think they're just ecoing up for that early tier 2 most likely. I'm surprised their commanders have not been sacked yet, but we still have all 14 commanders on the field. And yeah, we do have Flash here in danger of going down to 40%, taking out these pawns around him. He is down to 23%. Mighty Ship was not able to get the kill there, although they are definitely incredibly close to each other. We have CJ Reborn pushing up pretty aggressively here on Stardom. Stardom taking a little bit of damage, down to 68%. He should be able to get out of that if he just retreats straight away. But we have yet to see what he might do. So yeah, it's kind of mirrored here. We have CJ being aggressive at the top and Damus being aggressive at the bottom. I'm not sure how much that will matter in the end, but it is just something to note. We do have Rocket Bots pressuring Taku. His bot lab is pretty close to the front line though, so that going down early would be very, very annoying for him, I'm sure. MX going down, 2 Mexes actually, to some pawns from Mighty Sheep that is able to slip past. Stardom will take care of it. And then he is also moving some pawns forward into CJ's commander's territory. Almost going to take out that laser tower. That should be the final shot, and I just lied because it was being revived. It was being repaired, as they say. Either way, very good game. But CJ is actually at danger of breaking through this choke point here. And I would almost say he has, but he doesn't really have the units to back it up. He is losing some thuds there. Or thugs, sorry. They were renamed within one letter. But everything else seems to be a little bit static. As I say that, we do have a small contingent of tier 1 bots here from Sabotai, moving in the back rank, taking out a construction bot, taking out that mech that was being built, and then it is being followed by some of Android B's own bots, taking out Grunt there. But Andre also losing quite a bit of units. He had a lot of them that were on low health. But again, these guys can all be revived, so and these are all high-level players, so I'm expecting to see a lot of revived units this game. We do have pawns with their flashlights running up the hill. I guess grunts don't get any. Very good, very good. Stardom has kind of stabilized here. He definitely has a lot more units on the field than CJ Reborn does. And CJ is actually down to 28%, so he might be going down. I don't know if he's going to go down here, but he's definitely being pressured. Thugs trying to make a break for it, taking out a laser tower. But I think in the end, yeah, he's going to have to retreat here. Thugs taking a lot more damage. CJ down to 27%, and they are going for that retreat there. Taku has come back again from him being bottlenecked up there, pushing back Damus. So kind of what we're seeing here. But we do have Mighty Sheep up here that actually can't really support with anything. But, you know, artillery up here wouldn't be bad. There's actually a lot of good spots for artillery depending on, you know, who's winning in the middle ground engagement. The losing side can definitely defend pretty easily, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, easily might be an overstatement. There's a lot of flat ground, but they definitely have some spots for some artillery, which we might see come into action. It'd be nice. We do have shocks uncontested here. And, you know, by that I mean, you know, this laser tower, crazy. Look at that veterancy on that guy. But, yeah, shocks holding the line. Everyone really just doing well, holding the line. Not too much is going on here. We do have this advanced construction bot being gifted to Master Bell. So we do have the advanced bot lab for Dolphy. And then for Flo, yeah, we have the advanced bot lab as well. He's going to be gifting those construction bots to the other players, so they don't all have to build their own tier 2 factories. But they can get the tier 2 economy, and then they can go tier 2 factories, which is nice. So Taku's really just taking this bottom side here, about to actually envelop Master Bell, although he's probably just going to go backline for some mexes, most likely, although those are solo collectors. Those are the mexes. And yeah, his rocket bots, pawns, grunts, actually it doesn't have any pawns, just the grunts, doing some work here, taking out a mex, taking out a construction bot, and generally wreaking havoc. There's no one to contest him right now. We do have thugs here from Damus that are actually going to be taking out quite a few units, most likely. There are 5 of them, but there are also a lot of rocket bots that do outrange the thugs and can just kite them. So Taku being pretty safe in his attack there. We also have a lot of units from shocks, like a pincer attack from them might work well, but I think Damus has too many units on the field at this point for that to be very good. Again, CJ being pushed back by Stardom. Slowly healing, slowly trying to get up some stack defenses, but there are just too many rocket bots, and the flamethrower doesn't have enough reach actually, as it does take out a rocketeer. They do have more reach than I thought they did, but I believe rocket bots are still going to outrange them. Taku and Shox meeting up as Taku's commander is being pushed back by all these thugs. Definitely doesn't want to get caught in their line of fire at all. And Ragna being swarmed here by a bunch of grunts, down to 40%, but he should be fine. Although he's missing a lot of the, there you go. Some of those degun shots weren't great. Mighty Sheep cloaking. Is he going to go for the self-destruct? He might, yeah. I guess trying to go, he goes for the self-destruct on those units, trying to take out Flash's commander, maybe. We also have CJ Reborn going down here, which I probably won't put in the replay just because I'm sure we all know what just happened right there. Stardom did overwhelm him with units, but this play was interesting. He is going to be trying to reclaim his commander immediately and push out with his units, maybe taking out Flash's commander too. So it does end in a trade, and Flash is down to less than 10%, and Flash does go down as well. So this is going to end with Mighty Sheep's commander being resurrected, and also pulling off the medal of Flash's commander. So that's been an even trade there. Very, very, very nice gameplay, as they say. You know, the more varies you use, the more educated you seem. So I'm sure I seem really smart right now. Mighty Sheep moving forward, taking out, no, almost taking out that Mex, man. This is sad. This pawn should get it. There we go. A couple Mexes down there on Flash's side, and Flash does not have a standing army to compete with. So, but you know, there are some units from Andre here, some thugs that should take out any small forces here. But Stardom has unrestricted access to CJ Reborn's base because CJ was basically, his army and his commander were both eliminated, so he doesn't really have much to push back on there. So he's going to be moving some tier 1 units in, some Lazaruses. This is bad, and I would agree with that statement. Losing the high ground, like losing a base is bad. Losing the base on the high ground up here is really bad, because this should be one of your most defensible positions, but no static defenses were built, and that's probably going to be CJ's base down, and the right side will now be down a player. Taku with all the shurikens here, pushing forward with these grunts, doing some damage to the thugs, taking out those more expensive units with less expensive ones. How cost effective and smart that was. But Taku doesn't really have an opening to get anywhere because this is all defended. Like, that should have been CJ's base, defended by a bunch of static defenses. Instead, it was just completely destroyed. Mighty Sheep is coming in here for the cleanup against Stardom's units. And he's pushing out more pawns to block up that entryway. But for now, Stardom still has local superiority right in this area, but I'm assuming none of these units are going to be getting out. But, you know, taking out these mexes over here would be great. For him, at least. But we do have some scouts here from Master Bell, and I'm assuming we're going to be seeing some fighters as well, taking out those shurikens. And we do have the advanced spot lab from Master Bell. I'm assuming we're going to be seeing advanced spot labs from everyone, but this advanced spot lab right in the front line from Jazz Cash, really risky play. But you know, we also have one from Sabotage too. But I personally wouldn't really want it that far up because it can be taken out real quickly. But yeah, either way. So Stardom's attack has withered away, and I just lied. There are there are a few rocket bots here. Might be able to take out a Mex. One more rocket would do it, but unfortunately it does not happen, and he is stalled there. But he basically took out CJ, or CJ's like main base. He does have some eco back here, but no like production, no labs, no units, no commander. And now I'm just thinking of the Megamind meme, but anyways. Everywhere else it seems that it has stabilized. Stardom going for another push here, even with his commander going this far up. Although these units have just stopped. So quite a few pawns here. There are also a few Centurions from Mighty Sheep, so not many of these guys are probably going to make it through, and he does decide to retreat. Just building an anti-air tower, which is going to be taken out immediately. Now, I'm assuming everyone is at tier 2 at this point. We do have the tier 1 aircraft plant from Taku, which is why we saw the shurikens come out. We're seeing this advanced pod lab from Shox. Not much else really. We do have Jazz Cash actually. Yeah, so this is what I was worried about. His tier 2 base is gone now. Unfortunately, we did miss the attack. I'll try to get that in. So 14 minutes-ish. ish. But we did miss the attack where he lost his base, but we can see that was destroyed. We do have Sabotage's base still up, and he's producing some brutes, which are going to be very, very good at ground combat, of course. But yeah, that's a frontline player who has been sent to the Shadow Realm, unfortunately. So the right side definitely doing a little bit worse than the left side. Economy is actually on the right side favored. Barely, just with a little bit more energy, but yeah, player wise, they're hurting for sure. CJ taking the really big hit there, Jazz Cash also taking a hit there, and but map control is still pretty even, I would say. This just needs to be built up more, of course, after it was completely destroyed. But yeah, Sabotage really doing his part in holding the middle front line here. The middle front line, just the front line. It's just the front line. We do have Sheldons here from Andre, so they're going to be very, very cost effective unless they get caught out or something. And yeah, so that will probably pressure, yeah, Sabotage into attacking or retreating. Which the retreating is an interesting play. Oh, he's not retreating. Master Bell has just gone behind him with these fiends, which, oh, fiends are so annoying. So taking out a mech there, going to be taking out some medium tanks here. And just not a great situation for Sabotage right there. And did I say this was tier 2? He has a tier 1 vehicle plan. I don't know what I was thinking. Tier 1 medium tanks for him there. Which, you know, Sheldons are going to be able to damage-ish. It's not going to be great, but... And, oh my gosh, this is great. Okay. So we have someone just really being annoying right here. Regardless. Sorry. We do have Dolphy here with the massive Air Force. We have a bunch of fighters. Actually some tier 2 fighters. We have 3 atomic bombers. The main show. And where are they going? What's their plan? Who are they bombing? Looks like it's going to be Mighty Sheep Space. And Dolphy does go for the atomic bombing run right there. Bombs, dips. Does not take out the tier 1 plant, but, you know, does some damage to that base for sure. And all of his planes are still up. Like, there's not a lot of, like, support there. So he is just going to be able to wreak havoc in the skies for now, as there is no one to contest him. Another bomber moving over to Flo's little side base over here, bombing that into oblivion. Although, you know, there's still, like, a lot of main stuff that he's missing. And Jazz Cash does have his commander. I thought he didn't, but he definitely does. And those atomic bombers have finally gone down. The end of that run for him, at least. We do have pawns here from Stardom making their way downtown around to Mighty Sheep's front line, as I guess Stardom has just stopped pushing through this alleyway, which, you know, it is pretty heavily defended, so it makes sense, and he needs to shore up this front here. But that attack by Dolphy was good. It was good. It wasn't great. I don't think it did a ton of damage, but, you know, it's definitely useful. And it's good to see stuff like that. We do have this aircraft plank here from Jazz Cash. Going to be making some fighters, making sure something like that does not happen again. We're also seeing anti-nuke come up, which makes sense. But we're also seeing tactical missile launchers come up. And that guy doesn't have range on anything good, really. Part of Sabotage's forward base here, but that's in danger of being destroyed already. As we do have Sheldons with their periodic shellings. As Brutes getting swarmed by Grunts there, but it's not going to be super effective for those Grunts, and they are going to be falling back. We do have Shocks moving up some units, realizing, you know, he's lagging a little bit right there. A Mammoth coming up here from Taku, from this advanced bot lab. Mammoths are pretty cool. Not going to do great alone. Definitely, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to push this front line alone. Maybe if this guy keeps missing rockets, he will. But yeah, that's 6% a tick. Although if it starts targeting Grunts instead, he's going to be just fine. But yeah, attack missile launcher coming up here. Fun stuff like that. We do have the EMP launcher, which I can never seem to find them. But just trust me when I say it's there. There we go, the Juno. So it's anti-radar, jams, gets rid of mines, fun stuff like that. So going to be sending that over Shocks' way. And yeah, Sabotage is just being pushed back here. His vehicle plant has been destroyed. We've seen the duel of, I think, We have a Persecutor versus a Rattlesnake, and yeah, the Rattlesnake's killing it because there's 2 of them. And yeah, the Persecutor does go down. Sabotage just being forced back there. We are seeing the right side lose like a little bit of hegemony for sure. Stardom pushing up with Flash onto Mighty Sheep's units. Oh, you know, just taking over this entire elevated area, the high ground. And Advanced Geothermal Power Plant has been rebuilt by Mighty Sheep after being bombed by Dolphy. We're seeing the flight of the Shurikens onto Andre's army from Jazzcash. Yeah, Jazzcash sitting back here, taking his time after being, you know, hurt in that frontline engagement. And we're seeing another strike from Dolphy, moving a bunch of fighters forward into enemy airspace. And he's got 4 atomic bombers this time instead of 3. Maybe he'll add 1 each bombing run. But yeah, he is wreaking havoc on Sabotage's main base back here, although Sabotage has already been a little bit depleted. Getting the rest of those bombs onto Mighty Sheep's base, but not even able to take out this advanced metal extractor. We still have 2 bombers over here on Mighty Sheep's base, and they're actually landing, so a little bit of a lapse in micro there. And we are going to see them just be destroyed by these tier 1 nettles, which is a sad ending for them. And if this pinging could stop, that would just be fantastic. But yeah, obviously, you know, a little bit of a sad moment from Dolphy there. A little bit of a lapse in micro. And we are seeing the Armageddon from him, though. The real in-game. Although who that's actually going to be able to hit, there's not a lot of good targets here. Really, and we actually also have just scouts from Stardom over on CJ's back base. But we're seeing a massive push from Shox here in the front line. He is breaking through. He has a ton of Sheldons, a ton of Fiends. We're seeing some Shurikens getting some paralysis on those guys. Yeah, if they get caught out, they're going to die. But I don't think there's enough Shurikens to do that. But, you know, a few at a time, and the Fiends making that push. Just being devastating. There's no one to really combat them except for Hero Flash moving down. Gonna be contesting that with a bunch of Hounds and other fun things like some Welders. And we are seeing also, I think those are Spybot detonations, or maybe, oh, I don't know. Big paralysis explosion effects. Nonetheless, gonna be shocking a bunch of Sheldons here on that ridge. That looks like the moon actually. And yeah, those guys are going to be just taken out by those Welders. There's not a lot of resistance, but Shox is moving forward a lot more units. Some amphibious anti-air bots, which is funny. And also a bunch of Fiends. But I think that's the end of that attack for him right now. Yeah, gave everyone in the West a little bit of a scare there. It was a good attack. Lots of units coming forward, but it just wasn't enough. We are seeing... some EMP bombers. Was that what it was? From Dolphy being absolutely destroyed by the anti-air. All those trashers really being very, very glorious, taking out those guys. And some fighters moved over from Sabotage, but not necessary. Stardom does realize that Mighty Sheep did pull over his army to protect the front. Going to be doing a little bit of poking there, but he doesn't really have anything to make a difference. And there's actually a lot of like defenses here with these pit bulls, so not much Stardom's going to be able to do on that front. Stardom doesn't have a ton of units to work with right now. So it's probably going to come down to the air battle then, it looks like. We do have this nuclear launcher from... yeah. What am I saying? From Dolphy. And a little bit of a pause there, I guess. I don't know what that was. Maybe someone had to take a pee break. You never know. We are seeing an atomic bomber move over here from Dolphy. Going to be trying to bomb this Cerberus. Does get the bomb off, but it does not go down. And this bomber being targeted a little bit by trashers. A little bit as it goes down. Going to be going right into that radar tower, so it gets a little last laugh, but it does not take out that big artillery piece. And Shox being devastating with these Sheldons. Well, devastating is not the right word. Being annoying is the right word, as they're hiding right behind the ridge, which is probably just a little bit frustrating. And these Screamers have huge missiles, by the way. How long until the nuke? We do have a nuke here from Dolphy, but again, what he's actually going to be able to hit, this stuff right here, Taku's stuff over here would actually be a great target. there's a tier 2 advanced bot lab down there, along with, you know, nano turrets and stuff. So taking that out would be nice. As Taku does push forward, and Shox is pushing forward as well, with a lot of fiends here, but they are getting stunned by these shurikens. Is he going to make it up the hill? Most likely not. Yeah, as we do see big explosions from that atomic bomber go off, just to really combine arms destruction of Shox's army. Poor unfortunate Shox. We do have Taku just being very, very annoying up on this hill. But the Cerberus actually has horrible line of sight. It can't hit a lot. There's not in range of it, a lot in range of it, and it also can't hit stuff over here. Or it's a few of the shells are hitting the ground, to say the least. But we do have Shox with just a huge line of trashers. He's got the anti-air on lockdown, boy. And that's for sure. Taku just trying to make this push down here with these Arbiters. It's going to be a slower push, of course, with Arbiters and a Mammoth in the front. Taking those Sabo missiles, but yeah. Arbiters going to be doing a lot of damage. They will make it up, you know, they'll do damage eventually. It might just take a while. And we are seeing a push here from Andre and Ragna, trying to take out these anti-air bots. Taking out a few, but they're also taking some damage from these advanced exploiters, which actually kind of rock. Maybe I need to play more Cortex. Forbidden, forbidden, no. No Cortex. Cortex equals trash. Kidding. That is what I like about Cortex, are the exploiters. I like them infinitely more than the Twilight, the cloaked mexes. But that's just me, personally. I understand the cloaked mexes have a lot of uses in terms of like stalling entire armies with their EMP explosions, but I'd rather just have like a laser gun. We're seeing attack missile maybe being built there from Jazz Cash, and he has really come back here for the front line. As a Sabotage, actually, I don't know if something happened to him, but he's nowhere to be found. We are at 3v3 on commanders. And we are seeing Atomic Bomber here from Dolphy make that low-flying detonation. And it doesn't get a ton done, unless I miss something. But anything hit is good. But we are seeing this advanced bot lab from Damus almost going down here. But it is being repaired very quickly. But then the construction turrets are taken out, and now it's not looking so good. And that explosion, I think, was a little bit better. Hitting that Mammoth is always good, but you know, Mammoths can just take a whole atomic bomb, so props to them for sure. Second detonation will be taking that Mammoth out, and Shurikens here for Master Bell should be cleaning this up. I don't know. We are seeing Flash's whole army being paralyzed here in a mockery of Shock's push, and we're seeing a beeline here from Ragnar with all these pawns. Trying to get over to Taku's base, but they're taking the long way around, I guess. Probably just not able to climb over that. But again, it's looking like the West is slowly pushing forward, slowly winning this great war of attrition, which actually I think it is just a huge war of attrition. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, Ragna getting behind Taku's base here. Not going for the tier 1 bot lab or anything like super important. Just getting some construction turrets down. Maybe going for the eco in the back here is actually, looking like the plan. And I'm dropping lots of frames, which is fantastic. That's what I really needed today. Nobody's been taken out, man. We're getting to the late game with like 14 players. So... Although, yeah, Sabotage is gone, I guess. Although it still says he's present. I don't know. But yeah, this attack is just being destroyed. We are seeing some Wasp gunships from Flo. So he has that tier 2 aircraft plant, which is great. We are seeing the nuke from Dolphy come up. At minute 28, he is going to be nuking where exactly? Oh, Jazz Cash's base right here. Very, very nice nuke right onto Jazz Cash's base. Huge damage. Jazz Cash's commander almost going down there, but he is going to repair himself and make it out. Pretty big blow to the front line, and I'm assuming we're going to see an attack here. Although it seems to be mostly just skirmishing as we're seeing those EMPs go off. But yeah, great nuke. Is it game changing? maybe. I don't know. It was a good nuke at least. We are seeing catapults come out, which means there are gantries. But I think the right side might just be giving up at this point. As yeah, a huge attack here, a huge breakthrough in the center. A bunch of sprinters. We also have bulls coming through, doing a ton of damage. And yeah, I think that nuke was critical. I think the right side was losing anyways, but that nuke has really sealed the deal. The southern team, or the southern part of the eastern team, still holding on strong, but Jazz Cash taking a lot of damage here, as Mighty Sheep is also taking a bunch of damage. And we're seeing whole economies crumble basically, as yeah, the right side is 15,000 energy behind, and their metal is less by 50%. So it's not a great time for them. They're not having the best time, as these sprinters, which not one of my favorite units, but they're doing the job here. And that's basically the collapse of the right side team. I'm not sure how they could come back from this, unless they did set up nukes of their own, but I'm not really seeing any. I could be missing some, of course. They have enough anti-nuke, you know, to cover what's left of the bases, but yeah, just not great for them. Not a good position to be in right now. And Mammoth's taking some heavy fire here. Actually, not that heavy, but they're definitely being outranged and will be taken out eventually. And we're seeing CJ go down for the second time here. Oh no, poor CJ. He's probably been traumatized already. No, he did good. Everyone did super, super well in this game. But it did go to that Western team by just a little bit. So I think the game ends at 31. So we'll just fast forward through the rest of this. I'm not sure if we're going to see any more breakthroughs or anything fun or exciting happening. And yeah, everyone quits, as Taku is the last man standing. Wow, how did he build such a huge base in like 5 seconds? That's crazy. That's just wild. But yeah, that is the surrender. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this very, very exciting game from the high-level players. This war of attrition, as it was. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. And yeah, hope to see you all later. Adios.